So Albert Einstein once said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. So what did Albert Einstein actually mean? And how can you earn it and not pay it? You ever think about that? Because I did. I took this real serious. Compound interest is something that we all think we understand, but very few actually understand how it works. Because I bet you most people out there aren't earning it. They're paying it. They're paying it because they've bought into a lie about how money really works. And today I'm going to use that question. How? My name is Chris Naugle, and I'm here to teach you how to be your own bank. So I'm going to use the question, how long will it take for my investment to triple? To answer what compound interest actually is. And the way we used to do this is with a thing called the Rule of 72. The Rule of 72 essentially is a simple way for you to figure out how long it will take for your money to double. And then from there, you can figure out how long to triple, to quadruple, and so on. So the Rule of 72 is simple. If your money were to earn 7.2%, it will double every 10 years. Or if your money were to earn 10%, it would double every 7.2 years. It's a simple mathematical calculation that really makes it simple to figure out how long it takes for money to double. And if we know how long it takes to double, well, then we can just continue going forward. So then let's get back to what is compound interest. So let's talk about what is compound interest. Compound interest is your money earning interest, and as time goes on, the interest that money earned continues to earn interest. So let me give you an example. If you started with $100 and you put it into an account earning 7.2%, at the end of 12 months, 1 year, you'd have $107.20. But that $107.20 is now earning 7.2%. So the next year, you make more than $7.20 because now you're compounding on a higher amount. So that's exactly what compound interest is. Over time, the interest that your money earns also earns interest. So here's some of the problems, some of the do's and don'ts when you're looking to compound your money and grow your money. The first thing that people always think is, if I want to earn compound interest, I got to take my money and I got to put my money into something, but I got to just leave it sit there, because if I take that money out, I interrupt the flow of interest I'm earning, and that stops the compounding, right? But what fun is that? If you take your money and you put it into something and it just sits there and grows and grows and grows. Well, it's great if you're just looking at it and saying, oh, I made a little bit this month, made a little bit that year. But what if an opportunity comes? When you take that money out and you put it into the opportunity, you stop the flow of the interest in the first place you started. But for most of you that are listening to this, you're thinking, well, yeah, duh, that's how it works. If I put money into something and I take it out, well, of course they're going to stop paying me interest. But I've learned by studying the wealthy that there's another way. What if I were to tell you this? What if you could earn compound interest, but at the same time you're earning compound interest, what if you could take that money out and use it somewhere else to make money a second time without interrupting the compound interest you were earning on the first dollars? Does that sound too good to be true? Let me just repeat that, because I don't think some of you understood the magnitude of what I just said. What if there was a place where you could put your money and you could earn uninterrupted compound interest, which means you could take that money back out immediately and use it somewhere else to make money a second time? So on the same dollars, you're making money twice instead of making money once. And while you're doing that, you're tapping into what Albert Einstein said was the eighth wonder of the world, because you're tapping into compound interest. But you see, the compound interest in this example, this magical place that I'm referring to, is uninterrupted. Does that sound too good to be true? What if it was? What if there really was a place where you could save and spend without interrupting the interest you earn? Well, there is. And there always has been. For hundreds of years, this machine has been around. This place where you can put money has existed all the way back to the times of the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the J.P. Morgans, the Stanleys, all of them. Walt Disney, Ray Kroc. Heck, we could come up into modern time to the sitting president, Joe Biden, uses this. But let's take a step back. You're probably saying, still, there's no way something like that exists. It does. And you know what it involves you doing? Changing one thing. And that one thing is just where your savings goes first. Because right now, what are you doing with your money? You're taking it, you're working for it, and you're putting it into somebody else's bank, where that bank then takes your money and sends your hard-earned dollars to work for them. And what does the bank make? It makes a spread. The bank pays you 1%, maybe it charges 5% on a mortgage. That means they make a 4% spread, the difference between what they pay you and what they earn. So we just think that's normal. We just think that's okay. We need to change the way we think about money. Because in what you just did by giving your money to the bank is you gave up control of the most valuable dollars that you will ever have. The dollars you have today are the most valuable dollars because tomorrow they're worth less. The next day they're worth even less. A year from now they're worth even less than that. It's called inflation, folks. The dollars you have today are the most valuable dollars you will ever have. So why would we not want control of those dollars? Why would we not want the ability to send those dollars out to work for us instead of working for somebody else's bank? Well, that's the magic. And it involves adding one step to what you're doing now. We just change where the money you are saving goes. So right now, maybe that money is going to a savings account. Maybe it's going to a 401k. Maybe it's going to an investment account. What if all we did is we changed where it went first and we put it into a different account, our bank, and now that money was able to earn a guaranteed interest rate? That's right. But what if that money was able to earn a guaranteed interest rate plus dividends? Well, that's even better, right? And what if that guaranteed interest rate and dividends worked out to be between 5.2 and 6%? Is that better than what you're earning in the bank? That's right. And not only that, it's guaranteed. But I haven't answered the most important thing. I've shown you how you can change where your money goes, where you can earn a guaranteed interest rate, plus you can earn dividends. But what if then we could access and take that money out immediately in the first 30 days, but all of your money stayed in the account earning uninterrupted compound interest? Now, have I blown your mind? No. You know what I've done now? I've confused you because you don't believe that that is even possible. Well, do you want me to tell you what this magic machine is that's been around for 200 years, used by the wealthiest families? And you know who the number one purchaser of this magic machine is? Traditional banks. Traditional banks are the number one purchasers of what I'm about to tell you. As a matter of fact, if we look at the top 5 banks in this country and we go to fdic.gov and we look at how much money those top 5 banks have in a thing called BOLI, you would find out that they have over $75 billion. If we take all the banks in this country, it's well over $1 trillion. So why is it that the banks are putting their most valuable dollars in a vehicle that they're not telling you about? Well, when you really think about it, you would understand it's because they can't make money on it. So let's get down to it. What is this place? What is this magic machine that banks are using in the wealthiest families that you are not? Whole life insurance. Oh my gosh, I said it. Oh, now all of a sudden your head hurts and you're like, oh my God, that's the worst place you can put money. Well, I would agree. If you put your money in a regular whole life insurance policy, it's probably not a very good place for you to put your money. Because I'm not talking about a regular whole life insurance policy. I'm talking about a specially designed and engineered whole life policy. You think banks are putting money into the same whole life that your broke-ass brother-in-law tried to sell you last week? Absolutely not. They are smarter. They figured out a way to design and engineer a whole life policy so that it works just like a savings account, so that it gives them what they need, which is access and ability to use the money without interrupting the flow of interest and dividends. And you can do the same thing. So what's the difference between the Ford Focus that you saw at the Ford dealership and the Ford Focus that you saw on YouTube when Ken Block, a rallycross driver, was driving a Ford Focus 130 miles an hour sideways in full control? What's the difference between those two cars? Because they're both Ford Focuses. The difference is design and engineering. So what's the difference between the whole life policy that everybody tells you is the worst place to put your money, that your broke-ass brother-in-law is trying to sell you because it pays him a high commission, and the whole life policy that the wealthiest families in history, as well as traditional banks, are putting money into? Design and engineering. You can design and engineer a whole life policy to do everything I just said, where you can earn interest and dividends. You can then take that money out immediately in the next 30 days and use that money and earn interest the whole time. You want me to tell you how to do this? Well, the easiest way to do this is to learn how the wealthy families do this. You see, the design and engineering does one thing, and this is why you haven't heard about it. It reduces the advisor or the agent's commission by up to 90%. So I mean, think about it. Would you like to take a cut in your pay of 90% just to teach somebody how they can have more money? You probably wouldn't. Well, they don't want to either, which is why this has always remained a secret of the wealthy. But it's not a secret anymore. I just told you how this works. And you can learn how to do this. It's called the infinite banking concept, which is the process. The vehicle is and always will be a specially designed and engineered whole life. But the question is it too good to be true? Well, I'll let you be the judge of that. I know I've been using it, and it certainly is not too good to be true. Matter of fact, it works exactly the way I just explained it. If you like this video, check this one out. Is it too late to invest in crypto? Well, is it? Well, the video certainly will describe why it's not and why you should probably be looking at this. So check that video out. And if you like this video, then subscribe to this channel. Not only subscribe, but click that little bell, smash that bell so that you can be alerted every time we do a new video. See you next time.